Point. One, 0-2. Point.
And again, on that far side, returns have been a bit of an adventure today, haven't they been?
It has kind of been a factor, I think. I don't know if there's
2-0-2.
maybe some dead spots in the court here. I don't know if the sun is playing a factor. We'll keep an eye on that.
Point.
And a body bag for another point.
I really like that play for Ryan Fu there, especially going straight ahead at CJ early on here, kind of testing his
3-0-2.
hands and making CJ Klinger think twice about speeding up at Ryan Fu.
Side out.
If I'm Fu and I'm Campbell here playing against a lefty-righty team, it's going to be really important for Campbell being on the right side. A lot of the balls are going to be going to her being the woman on this side. She needs to mix up the ball. She needs to go a few to Mari, a few behind CJ, just really try and open up the court and not go too many down the line because CJ will start to come over with his forehand in the middle.
Point.
First point for Klinger and Humberg.
1-3-1. Point.
And that was set up there by CJ's serve. He served her Campbell out wide there and then was able to take advantage and hit a really good third on that, and then she was struggling getting to the line.
Oh, CJ deciding to step in there. Do you like that move, Paris?
I really like that move from Klinger there. I think he's being aggressive, and I think in mix, that's such a good play.
2-3-2.
Being the guy is you have to assert yourself, especially early on, and send a message to the other team that you're here, and if you guys leave a ball high, I'm going to punish you for it.
Point.
I like the movement on that from Campbell, but I think she needs to go a little bit more shallow behind, especially a lefty like that. When CJ's
3-3-2.
such long arms, he can reach in, so make the ball bounce in front of him.
Point.
Good serve from Humberg. Now the first lead for the 19th seed.
4-3-2. Point.
And now 5 in a row for Klinger and Humber.
5-3-2.
So good recovery here in game 1.
Side out.
Campbell there on that one, she was able to get that dink a little bit more shallow, so CJ wasn't able to quite tee off on that one and flick it, so it was a little low and kind of put him in a bad position.
Point.
It's really important too, Drew, in the dynamic of the two righties playing against the lefty-righty for the girl on the right to be aggressive to the girl on the left. So let's see if Campbell can continue to do that and put pressure on Mari Humberg straight ahead from her.
Second serve. 4-5-2. Point.
Another miss there from CJ.
That's a great drive by Ryan Fu getting in on that one. He recognized that the return was short,
5-5-2.
and he was trying to go at Mari there. So CJ kind of came over for her and tried to help her, but it was just too good of a drive by Ryan Fu.
Side out. 5-5-1.
Good hands from
Second
Mari
serve.
that time, but Fu able to follow it up. And now a second serve on the way.
So that was set up from Campbell, actually. She sped that ball up straight ahead at Mari Humberg, and then Ryan Fu was able to finish on the next one. So I like that play from that
5-5-2.
team.
Point.
CJ finds the open court as well as anybody in the game, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He's just able, especially when the guys come over and mix, CJ's always been so good about getting it behind the guy and keeping them honest.
6-5-2. Side out.
I love that play from Campbell there because she goes one behind Klinger there, opens up the court, and then the next ball on the dink, she'll go to Humberg there. So CJ's not able to come over as far as he would if he was in the middle of the court.
Oh, CJ finding the middle.
Second serve.
I think that ball could have been slightly out there on the sideline.
Close.
5-6-2. Side out.
And you see Mari Humberg too on her return. She takes a big cut at it. She likes to
6-5-1.
slice her third, so it's going to be really important for the other team to get underneath her returns.
Second serve.
CJ caught a little bit off balance there. Yeah, we've talked a lot about the slice here on this first day. Nobody slices and dices more than Mari Humberg.
Absolutely. That's been her signature shot since she
6-5-2.
first came to the sport. Her slice backhand and also her slice returns have been such a force in the game because
Point.
especially as being women, we don't really slice as much as the men do. So I think when she does it so often, people are a little
7-5-2.
bit surprised and it's a different look.
CJ, he's poaching big
Side
time.
out.
He's getting over there, that's for sure. He's telling them that I'm here to play. He's all over the court. That's what you have to do in mixed, though. You have
Yeah,
to
you
make yourself a
certainly do.
presence, and that's the guy's job.
5-7-1.
Oh, Mari spreading.
Second serve.
That's just too good.
Spraying the whole court that time.
Especially when the ball's coming high like that, a lot of players will hit it as hard as they can back and try and get the ball down, but I like how she took a little bit of pace off that and
5-7-2.
used the angle to get Ryan Fu off the court, and then she made them pay.
Side out. Seven, 5-1.
And open
Second
court
serve.
right in the corner. Fu places it perfectly. Another University of Michigan product. Ryan Fu. It seems like we got so many of them here in pro
7-5-2.
pickleball.
I know, there really is. It's cool to see all the people transitioning from college tennis
Point.
over to pickleball, and especially over the last, they need to start a pickleball team for the college over there.
Side out.
That's a great spot for Campbell there. She saw Mari was kind of sitting a little early and she slid over. She recognized that and she went right into her right hip there. That was a great spot for Campbell.
Saw Fu the encouragement there for his partner.
5-8-1.
Always helps.
Point.
Fu getting a little fired up over there. I like to see that. Get some momentum going for him and his team. He's always been such a great teammate, and I've got the opportunity to play with him a lot in Boca and drill with him. And he's always
6-8-1.
so positive, and he's just a great person to play alongside with.
Yeah,
Second
Ryan
serve.
Few was a guy who just got kind of thrown into the deep end of pickleball. He had to adjust really
6-8-2.
quickly, handled it so well.
He did, absolutely. But he's really, over this last year, I've seen him improve so much. And on his MLP team, he was playing great. I mean, him and Blaine Hovenier had some really good wins on the men's side. And
Side out.
they were coming into it with, you know, a lot of younger players on their team and kind of having to hold their own and find their way. And I felt like they really started to build some chemistry later on in the season. And I'm happy to kind of see that happen, but also curious to see what they do next week in
8-6-1.
Dallas.
2-point lead for Klinger and Humberg. Oh,
Oh, he
Second
made
serve.
that.
8-6-2. Side out.
Fu's kind of getting going here a little bit. I feel like he's disguising the backhand really well. He's pulled a few behind CJ. He's pulled a few at Mari. So I feel like CJ and Mari don't really know where he's going to go.
6-8-1.
And I think that's a really good thing for Fu to continue to capitalize on.
that's just wide, and you just sense some momentum here for the 46 seed. In Paris, love the encouragement. I know you have a chance to play with
7-8-1.
Andre Diescu and the effect that he has on his partners all the time.
Absolutely.
See that right now with Ryan Fu and that encouragement. Love to see it. Here he is.
Second serve.
I think he barely missed that one.
I feel like I would have felt that one.
Yeah, and Andre Diescu, I mean, he has been a great teammate this year. We've gotten to play a PPA together as well, and hopefully we get to play some together next year as
7-8-2.
well. But he's just been such an encouragement to our entire team, and it's cool to see just the infectious energy of one person, how they infect multiple people on a team, and it just takes one person. And Andre Diescu has really been that person for us all season, and he's been the glue to our team, and he's the man. That's why we call him the king.
Sets the tone. CJ Klinger, did that find a spot on the court? No, it didn't. Just a little bit long. And we are tied at 8.
Ryan 9-8. 8-8-2. Point.
How
Time
about
out for
this,
receivers.
Paris?
9-8-2.
But it was
Time in.
fun to play alongside him, and he's just been
9-8-2.
improving so much over this last year. And in my opinion, he's one of the top mixed players, that's for sure. Oh, I think that was a little wide.
Point.
Yeah, CJ's kind of looking over, seeing maybe he missed a call there. Fu and Campbell will definitely take that. See if they can capitalize here.
10-8-2.
There it
Point
is.
game.
The
11-8.
game to Campbell and Fu, the 46 seed, propelled by the energy of Ryan Fu.
Big comeback there. I mean, you saw later in game 1 there, Ryan Fu.
And don't
Game
forget about
2 time
Anna
in.
Bright, Hayden
0-0-2.
Patrick win the 3 seed in this field.
Those are both MLP teammates on both. It's cool to see it transitioning over to the PPA side.
Point.
Humberg there took advantage of that, a little bit of a high
1-0-2.
dink from Campbell there and flicked it directly back in her body. Let's see if she continues to do that throughout game 2 here.
Point.
Good start here
2-0-2.
for Klinger and Humber. They needed it.
That was close
Side
there
out.
on the...
Did you say in?
So I think
Referee
good
timeout.
challenge
We have
here.
a challenge of the out call. The out call puts us at side out 0-1. After video review, the rally stands. The ball was out. Lost free challenge. No free challenges remaining. One free challenge remaining. Resume play at side out 0-1.
When you're out there in the heat of battle, and there's a questionable ball, what goes into thinking, okay, should I challenge, should I not, Paris? What goes through the thought process there?
0-1.
I think there's a lot of different factors with that. I think when you're going to challenge a ball when you're on court in the heat of the moment, you kind of have to take into consideration this score line as well.
Yes.
Sometimes when it's a little early on and you only have one challenge to use throughout the game, you have to be very wise about it, and you might want to use it later on if the score is maybe a little bit closer. But if you feel like the ball that you hit was really in or out, then sometimes you just have to challenge it regardless.
Point.
Back-to-back points here for Campbell and
2-2-1.
Fu. They're back in it.
Second serve.
I like that pull off the bounce there from Klinger into Campbell's body there. I think the more he can be aggressive and go at her with this format and this
2-2-2.
lineup, I think that it's going to do them much better.
Side out. Two, 2-1. Point.
Humberg seems to be moving the dinks around a little bit better at the
3-2-1.
kitchen now and opening up the court a bit more.
CJ is starting to feel more comfortable. He was not comfortable doing that in game one, Paris, but looks like he has settled in.
That's just too good from CJ Klinger there. He's coming over. That's when you know he's playing his most confident, aggressive pickleball.
4-2-1.
CJ is a riot.
Second serve.
Oh, foot fault.
On Klinger?
I believe so, yes.
I think his right foot, he might have dragged
Second
it.
serve.
Was it Klinger or was it Mari?
I think it was Humberg.
4-2-2.
Ooh.
Side out.
In my opinion, that's too risky of a ball. You're in a good dink rally. You're opening up the court. She's going behind Fu. She's going to Campbell. She's working the point. I think the ball was a little bit too low to maybe go for a flick on that. I think wait for the ball to be a little bit higher, just in that
2-4-1.
situation in particular.
Second serve.
I have noticed Fu and Campbell, though, have been a little bit less aggressive than game one. I feel like
2-4-2.
when it got close there in game one, Fu and Campbell really started being aggressive. They were pulling, they were driving, and I think that's what got them over the finish line for game one. So let's see if they continue to do that, or...
Side out.
Yeah, got to keep up that pressure because right now CJ is like a shark roaming.
He's waiting to prowl.
He is.
Four, 2-1. Second serve.
I like that play from CJ there. I think if he can continue to be aggressive and go at her. But I think also sometimes, too, if he's going to come over and take that court from Mari, he should go a few behind Fu as well, just to keep them guessing.
Talking about some of the partnerships, Paris, and the new partnerships we're going to see here in Vegas. How about Alex Truong and Fed Staxrud?
2-4-1.
Is that the first time that they're playing together?
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, that'll be interesting. I know she's coming off some really good results in Asia, so that'll be fun to see them partnering out here this week.
Second serve.
And you've also got Eric Onsens, Catherine Parento. Another interesting duo.
Eric Onsens as well had a good run in Asia, was able to get 2 gold medals over there with Tyson. He did great, and it's going to be fun to see him partner with Parento. She's been playing some amazing pickleball and so solid on the right.
Side out.
Fu needs to get going here a little bit. I think he needs to get some commands going. I feel like when he's doing that and he's using his voice, he's really playing his best out here. So I'd like to see him kind of get a little more energy going.
4-2-1.
Yes, CJ has kind of taken that momentum from him. Let's see if he can get it back. Put away there, right down the middle. Second serve on the way.
Four, 2-2.
Great leave by Mari there. She recognized the ball was a little bit above her shoulders, and she decided to get out of the way instead of hit that. Those are hard balls to leave.
Five, 2-2. Point.
That's just the pressure of CJ Klinger there.
Yes.
He's coming over. He's letting them know, hey, I'm here. If there's any ball that's going to be a little high, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go right out you. So that's just his pressure of coming over and showing them that he's there.
Point.
Love the adjustments CJ has made in this game, too. You see his father looking on there in the VIP section. Right there, right side of your screen, right there.
There's Darren Klinger. He is absolutely perfect day.
So CJ Klinger's taking matters into his own hands here in game number 2, 7-2 edge. Let's see if he and Humberg can force a game 3.
Second serve.
Mentioned Blaine Hovenier. He and Ryan Fu, very similar games. They feed off that emotion. Fu had it in game 1, but it's been non-existent in game 2.
Ooh, I think that ball Klinger hit was probably going to go out, but Campbell, I think it was a little high, and she saw it and she wanted to go for it. But I think if she could have left that one, it probably would have sailed a little long.
Point.
That's just CJ's presence there. He's just coming over. He's taking so many balls from the middle. He's doing a great job. They just need to continue to stay aggressive, and that's what's really getting them across the line here in game 2.
Lead increased here to 8-2.
8-2-1.
All positive vibes coming from this near side here.
Second serve.
There you hear Fu getting a little hyped up, starting to get himself going a little bit.
Yeah, it's such a big part of his game. That ball just a bit out. That'll be another point. 9-2 now.
I felt like in game one as well, I saw Campbell go a little bit more into the body of Humberg, and now she's starting to kind of go more towards her right shoulder, her forehand. I'd like to see Campbell go more into her body.
Oh, great hands by the duo. Klinger and Humber both sending it back, Paris. Game point now for the number 19 seed after the slow start.
10-2-2.
Oh, that's too good.
Side out.
Fu saw Klinger going a little bit early there as well, and he was able to go behind him. I think if Klinger is going to go over and poach that, he needs to wait a split second instead of committing a little bit too early.
2-10-1. Second serve. Side out.
So an error there on the serve. And now another game point for Klinger and Humber. We'll change of pace on the serve that time.
Second serve.
I'm surprised Klinger went for, I guess you can kind of like a little lollipop of a serve there. I think especially going, you know, at Kaylin there, I think you should hit that serve and then look for the short third on that.
And that's wide. So there it is, 11-2. Impressive for Klinger and Humber. Good bounce back after the disappointment of conceding game number one. So
yeah, this has been a really good one, Drew. Let's see if Ryan and Kaylin here can be a little bit more aggressive in the start of game three. I believe that's how they won game one, and see if they can kind of bring that strategy back.
whoa, Mari was waiting for that one.
I would really like to see Campbell here early on as well. Try some speed ups up straight ahead at Humberg, and that's what she was doing in game one. I'd like to see her bring that back and be slightly more aggressive.
Safe to say the play of Campbell may be the key here in game three.
0-0-2.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially in mixed, if you can be solid as a girl, but also I feel like over the last year in mixed doubles in general, if you can create a little bit more offense, being the women in mixed, goes a long way, and it really sets up your partner and can open up different things. And especially the males across the side of the net, they don't know what to expect when you're mixing it up, because if you're always dinking, they know what to expect. But if you're speeding up, if you're dinking, you're mixing up the play, it's hard to read what you're going to do next.
Oh, CJ stepped into that one. A little bit too heavy-handed that time, and now a side out for the 46 seed.
Zero, 1-1. Second serve.
That's that heavy slice of Humberg there on the return. It's just so hard to get underneath. If I'm Fu, I really want to try and drop that ball into the kitchen versus trying to drive it. It's just too hard of a shot to execute.
Oh, right down the middle. Campbell dials one up.
Great hands from Campbell there. She recognized that the flick was coming at her straight ahead, and she was ready, and she turned her body, and she went right down the middle.
1-1-2. Side out. Referee timeout. We have a challenge to the out call. The out call puts us at side out, 1-1-1. We'll now proceed with video review.
Get the call here.
After video review, the rally is overturned. The ball was in. Loss of free challenge. No free challenge remaining. One free challenge remaining. Resume play at 2-1-2.
So Campbell and Fu get the benefit of the doubt there. Take another look. That dot clearly inbounds.
2-1-2.
And now Ryan Fu here to serve with a 2-1 lead. How about hands, both sides?
That was a really good point all around. That it was good for Humberg and Klinger there that they took advantage of that first point out of the line call, because that could have been a big momentum
1-2-1.
shifter for Fu and Campbell there.
Point.
Those are just shots early on you just have to make. You have to execute those, especially those slower
2-2-1.
dings. You just can't afford to miss those, especially when you get to a third set.
Point.
That one just a bit long, so a gift here for Klinger and Humberg.
3-2-1. Point.
Klinger and Humberg have done a really good job in game 2 and game 3 of putting a lot more pressure on Campbell, and they're not giving as many
4-2-1.
balls to Fu in the kitchen. So Campbell is having to create things, and then Humberg and Klinger have been able to speed up because of the balls that they're getting from him, because Ryan's not getting as involved in the kitchen line as he was in game 1.
That's a great point.
4-2-2.
3 straight points now for Klinger and Humberg. You watch Ryan Fu play too, the way he holds the paddle, the way he serves, his stance. It is like a carbon copy of James Ignatowicz sometimes, isn't it?
It really is. Him and James were really good friends growing up, and I think he got into pickleball because Ignatowicz as well, and you can see his little feet going there on his step. It's a lot like Jimmy, that's for sure.
Second serve.
This serve, let's see, does it remind you of somebody?
2-4-2.
His calves must be sore after matches.
I'm telling you.
Side out.
So no damage done for Campbell and Fu on that side out. And now Klinger and Humberg in the driver's seat here.
4-2-1. Second serve.
Whoever's going to get to 6 here, I think it's going to be a big confidence boost for them as well, because whenever you get to 6 in game 3, you kind of have a little more confidence when you switch sides, and you can carry that momentum on throughout the rest of the game.
Side out.
I think Fu just looked at Campbell there and said, let's just take our time. Let's really try and get a point here. They're both going to their towels. I think that's a good call. Sometimes in these matches, especially when you're going 3 and you're out here for so long, if you could just take a few seconds here and there, it just helps reset, and then you're able to start climbing your way back and getting points on the board, especially they haven't scored when they've had a possession and multiple side outs.
So are you starting to say that sometimes when you go to the towel, it's not always to dry the perspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I think some players use it as well as kind of like a reset.
A little reset?
Yeah, when you have your serve and you haven't, well, I guess it didn't help him there on that one, but just in general, if you can take some time, you kind of reset, maybe you tie your shoe or you go to the towel like you said, it can kind of help just get you back in, but also for yourself, it's like you have a different feel when you go to the next point of, okay, I took a reset, now this point is going to be different. So just mentally for yourself, not just for your opponents.
4-2-2.
Stuck on 4-2 for quite some time here. And again, a little frustrated, CJ Klinger. Opportunity is there for Campbell and Fu.
Point.
That was a perfect drop there by Campbell. I like to see that right in the middle of CJ's feet there. He wasn't able to reach, so I think he probably could have taken a step back and let that bounce and then put that back in the court.
Oh.
Great hands by Fu.
Incredible. Oh, it's in.
She got that one, yep. That's a great counter. That was a great read by Campbell there. She was able to slide, and she actually sat on her forehand there and then countered it right back in.
So things getting a little bit interesting here. Game 3.
4-4-1.
Humberg and Klinger trying to lock in here. The underdogs are certainly pushing them, Paris.
Campbell's drops, I feel like in the last few points have been money. They've just been in the perfect spot, and she's gotten Klinger here twice now on the same drop.
Point.
And all of a sudden,
6-4-1.
Klinger and Humberg now digging themselves, and Campbell now in the far court.
Yeah, a lot of momentum shifts here in game 3. It's really been anyone's game here, so let's see if Fu and Campbell can hold on to this lead.
Point.
That's just too high of Humberg there. I mean, I think she should have taken a step back and kind of played that a little bit, either speed that up into Campbell's body or just put that back in the kitchen and reset the point.
Second serve now on the way in Paris. I just feel like Klinger and Humberg had opportunities early in that game 3 to really pull away. But they let an opponent hang around sometimes. And a winner.
Yeah, I think the difference here later on in game 3 is you saw in game 2 and early in game 3 to get Klinger and Humberg to that 4-2 lead. CJ was being more of a force and he was being more aggressive. I feel like he's kind of backed off a little bit, and Humberg has taken a lot more balls in this game, and it's really showed the difference here in the scoreline.
Side out.
So finally an error from Campbell and Fu, and now Klinger and Humberg trying to bring that energy. Campbell just signed by the Carvana PPA Tour back in June. Still a newbie.
Yeah, she's done so great. I mean, just signing in June and already having these results and being out here on center court is really cool to see her develop, and her game has come so far.
Point. Five, 8-1.
Oh, great hands by Fu. Ernie time.
Point.
That was a great point there by both players. I think CJ read that really well, and he was able to kind of get over there early for the Ernie, but great hands by Fu there as well.
Timeout receivers, 6-8-1.
So the last thing you want to do is have CJ Klinger have a water person. Also, Paris, you went to fetch the water for this team during the break.
We do it all back here. What can we say?
Making you work some overtime here.
Second serve.
See, that's what I mean, Drew, by being aggressive there. She had a few good gets on that one. She put some balls back in the kitchen, and then it's hard to read her forehand roll, and she sped up straight ahead at Mari.
Point.
And now the lead is just 1. Pressure here in the round of 64.
7-8-2. Point.
Great serve there.
Eight, 8-2.
Oh,
Oh, great hands by
Point.
both players.
maybe the best hands battle we've seen all day long. And it goes in favor of Klinger and Humber.
I would say, honestly, Klinger and Fu are some of the best when they're both sped up into their bodies. They just get out of the way so well,
9-8-2.
and they both have such good one-handed counters. It's fun to see them exchanging it back and forth.
5 unanswered points now. Look at Klinger,
Point.
just absorbing everything, Paris.
Absolutely. I mean, just the last few points, how he scrambled, gotten some of the balls back in his hands, and just speeding up behind Fu has really
10-8-2.
showed the difference here at the end of game 3.
And now match point. Oh,
Wow, that was very brave to go behind him on match point down there, but it paid off.
Klinger tells his partner, calm down, we got this. But side out on the other side now, and Campbell and Fu, do they
8-10-1.
have one more run left in them? Oh, oh,
Point.
what a point.
You see Fu going behind Klinger there again. That's twice in a row there. But it really just, especially when you're playing the format of the lefty-righty and mixed, if you go behind the lefty, it's his backhand, so he's usually sitting forehand, so that just opens up the
9-10-1.
entire court.
Can they tie it here? Remember, still on first serve. Oh,
Point.
yes, they can.
That's a good call by Fu, too, letting Campbell know, hey, the ball's going to be out. That's super important as partner communication, especially in these big moments and the close scoring.
10 apiece. Campbell and Fu showing something here on
10-10-1.
Pickleball TV. Oh, there was a little bit of a lapse of concentration there. Campbell tried to take advantage of it, but just hit it long.
Yeah, I liked the change of pace there. It was kind of like an off-pace speed up that she went for. I didn't mind that. I think just the spot and the execution of it was a little wrong. I would have liked to see her go a
10-10-2.
little more in Humberg's body.
Oh, no way. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Side out.
That was great execution by Campbell there to actually get that ball after Ryan completely came over. And sometimes when your mixed partner does it, it completely throws you off. But the fact that she got that back in was great.
Kaylin hanging in there in that point, just unfortunate. And now Klinger and Humber just went over. I think they just said, hey, we just need 2. Let's get out of here.
Second serve.
There's that emotion that we saw
10-10
throughout game 1. It is back for Ryan Fu.
If there's any time to bring it, it's definitely at 10-10.
Without a doubt.
Point.
So that's a big one, and now it'll give match point to the other side.
Fu's done that, I want to say, in the last 5 points, probably 2 or 3 times now behind CJ, the speed up to his back. And I think CJ's kind of now sitting over and he's reading that a little better. And on that one, he was able to counter a little stronger into Fu's body, and he wasn't quite expecting that.
11-10
so good for CJ to be reading that pattern now.
CJ is going to be aggressive here. And there it is.
Point game
So
match.
Klinger and Humberg, bit of a roller coaster there, but able to outlast the very aggressive team of Campbell and Fu. That was a fun match. So best match we have seen thus far today. Humberg and Klinger outlast Campbell and Fu. A great effort by the 46 seed, but it is Humberg and Klinger sticking to the game plan, and a great job to take that game 3, 12-10. And now they join us here on Championship Court. Mari, we'll start with you. Things got a little dicey there towards the end. What made you and CJ able to, outlast the team on the other side of the net?
They definitely brought a lot of energy. Shout out to both of them. Played a great match. I think CJ and I have played so much together that we kind of just trust each other in those moments, and we were fortunate to pull this one off.
Hey guys, Paris Todd here. Congratulations, great match. Does it help that you guys have played majority of the season together in those big moments when it gets like 10-10 in the third, of having confidence and trusting in each other, getting through those tight matches?
Yeah, definitely. We've both been playing for a while, so we've been in a lot of matches like that where it doesn't go our way, vice versa. So that time it went our way. We were fortunate to get on top, though.
CJ, Ryan brought so much energy in that game 1. It seemed like you kind of had to take that from him in game 2 and say, no, I'm going to be the alpha here on the court. How'd you manage to do that?
Yeah, I just remembered Ryan went to Michigan, so that actually fired me up a little bit more.
Give you a little extra incentive right now, the fact that your football team's the best in America. That kind of make you feel good?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely have a good team this year.
Mari, you get a chance to play with so many different partners. What makes CJ unique?
First of all, I heard a roar out of him today, and I don't think I'd heard that before. CJ's recently been talking to me in Spanish, wrong language, but we'll still take it, Siege. We'll take the vamos. He does say that to me. It's a blast to play with him. He brings a ton of energy. He's a great partner, and we know each other's games so well that it meshes well for us.
And CJ, we've also been having a little fun with Paris here throughout the day, talking about some great Columbus Slider memories throughout the year. Can you give us one from Paris from this past MLP season? And I don't know, maybe put her on the spot a little bit, being that she's on the call today.
Be nice, CJ.
It's really intimidating when you're across the net from Paris, and she hits a backhand counter winner and then stares you down and screams.
Tell him, Siege.
All the body bags this season were definitely fun. All the warm-up body bags that you gave me, CJ. I have some bruises and some tattoos still.
Absolutely historic stuff, guys. Well, guys, congratulations. Best of luck the rest of the way. We'll be following you.
Thank you.